was a time when convertible supercars were viewed as something of a sacrilege. Today, they're the most desirable body style in the world of exotica. The Lamborghini Aventador Roadster is regarded by many as the most prestigious production car on the market. But does it represent the pinnacle of open-top motoring? Let's find out. From a numbers standpoint, the Aventador LP700 certainly checks all the boxes. A naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 mounted amidships, producing 690 horsepower at over 8,200 RPM, affords a top speed of 217 miles an hour and a 0 to 60 sprint in 3 seconds flat. Routing that power to all four wheels is Lamborghini's 7-speed independent shifting rod gearbox that can click off gear changes in a mere 50 milliseconds. To put that into perspective, it takes approximately 300 milliseconds for the average human to blink their eyes. Yeah, that stat checks out. But because this transmission is of the single clutch variety, acceleration in the automatic mode is about as civilized as a soccer riot. We found that smooth acceleration is indeed achievable in the manual mode by employing some strategically timed lifting and shifting techniques. Lift, shift. Lift, shift. And it's as simple as that. And for those who don't live their life a quarter mile at a time, there are additional means of dialing back the drama in normal driving conditions. The Aventador's personality can be altered by way of 3 distinct drive modes: Strada, Sport, and Corsa. The default Strada mode subdues the exhaust note, relaxes gear changes, and activates fuel-saving features like engine stop-start and cylinder deactivation. Laugh all you want, but the fact that this 700 horsepower V12 supercar averaged over 17 miles a gallon during a road test is nothing short of impressive. Selecting the Sport or Corsa settings alters the all-wheel drive system's front-rear torque bias from 3070 to 1090 and 2080 respectively. Doing so also turns up exhaust volume to 11 and knocks out gear changes in such a rapid, almost violent manner that the electronic tack needle can barely keep up. As you might expect, the LP700's push-rod suspension is about as stiff as a railroad trestle. These ride quality woes take a back seat the moment you're subjected to the near telepathic responsiveness of the steering and brakes, not to mention that sound. Why does Lamborghini even bother with an audio system? Seriously, the sound quality is weirdly underwhelming. But for all its carbon trickery, the Aventador Roadster still feels like a big, heavy car as you inch towards the limit. Nevertheless, the average Aventador owner will never approach these limits on the street or the track, because let's be honest, they won't be taking it there. As we await your hate mail, let's shift the focus inside, where an aviation-inspired cockpit lays home to world-class materials mixed with traditional Audi switchgear and intricate details like beveled side glass and diamond-tufted seating surfaces. This stealth fighter theme also carries through to the Aventador's carbon fiber monocoque and accompanying trim pieces. Speaking of which, the roof is comprised of 2 carbon fiber panels that, when in place, increase structural rigidity by roughly 10%. While the power retractable tops found in Ferrari, McLaren, and Aston Martin convertibles are considerably easier to use, this manual process of removing and replacing the top isn't particularly onerous. After a few practice runs, we were able to detach and stow the roof panels in less than a minute. Plus, the payoff is worth the hassle, as a low, unobtrusive header, power rear window, and surprisingly tall seating position, at least in the realm of supercars, ultimately bring you to the brink of sensory overload. Transitioning back into reality, The Aventador Roadster is among a small group of senior league vehicles whose primary selling point largely boils down to demanding the attention of passersby.
Thank you.
Which isn't always positive. As more of an accessory than an automobile, you don't so much drive the Aventador as you wear it. That said, supercar fanatics could offer something capable of pumping out nearly identical performance metrics, but in a comparatively understated package. Cars like the Porsche 911 Turbo S and Bentley Continental GT Speed come to mind. Then again, flashy exotics cater to the person who simultaneously cares and doesn't care what other people think. So, what can you expect to pay? Holding down a scant $44,000 premium over its hardtop stablemate, the Aventador Roadster checks in just under $442,000. Interested parties must also factor in a $4,500 gas guzzler tax, $3,500 destination and delivery fee, and a UN-mandated luxury tax. Okay, I made that last one up. But once you begin to tack on options like power heated front seats, premium exterior colors, carbon fiber interior trim, and a backup camera augmented by parking sensors, expect to pay upwards of $500,000 for a well-equipped Aventador Roadster. And when it comes to maintenance expenses, much like the military mitigates operating cost of its next-generation aircraft, the only fiscally responsible way to enjoy an Aventador might be on a simulator.
Because everyone has a varied interpretation of the ultimate open-air experience, no one convertible supercar stands above the rest. At the end of the day, buyers fortunate enough to afford this class of car need but one piece of advice. You follow your heart, and the right car will pick you.